Okay, we're going to start the lesson. The lesson that we did was teach students what XY coordinates are. We just did it in down. We did it in a way that they would understand. So what we did, they're learning how to program in a program called Scratch. It's an MIT program that teaches programming concepts to children. And whenever they're moving their characters, like the cat here, they are shown these parts which shows X and Y coordinates, and it shows it to them in this area. So every time they move their characters, which are called sprites in the program, the mouse, the X and Y coordinates move and change to negative and positive numbers. So as they're doing their movements and they're programming right here where it says when the sprite is clicked, it points to what direction, and they're going to glide 1 second to X and Y. Right here they're teaching them already negative and positive numbers, which are reflected right here. And as they're doing their movements during the computer scripts, they're learning coordinates using play and technology. Another thing that we did so that it will stay more in their mind and have a better cognitive recognition later on, it's more cemented in their in their way of thinking, is we play a game, the X and Y coordinates, with pieces of scratch paper. We start from Y 0 to 10 and X 0 to 10. And basically what we did is we laid it on the floor on a 10 by 10 area. That's 10 feet. Actually it's 11 feet by 11 feet because it's 0. And then each square counts as 1. So let's say here we're teaching them, we would place somebody here in this area, and then they had to know where they were. We always would teach them that the X goes first. So we start counting where you at with a laser pointer, point here, so that it has a 4, and then the Y comes next, and it's a 3, so that's the coordinates. So in this situation, they are working on quadrant 1, which always has positive numbers. Positive, positive. Because all the numbers that we used here and here are positive numbers. We did not use any negatives. That's one of the ways that we're teaching them. Again, we would place somebody here, and then we would try to find where they were and get their location. So we're teaching them how to read coordinates, which will later be translated into their sprites or their character movements in their computer screens right here. And as they're building their programming, their coding skills, they're telling the sprites where to move in that screen. And we play this game so that it will be more reinforcement for them. So this is the area that we create. It's 11 squares by 11 squares. So we have an area of 121 square feet. And then we play, okay, if you're going to move your X at 3 and Y 4, so you're at coordinate 3, 4, and you move 10 steps or 4 steps to left or right, where are you going to land? So they move, and then if they land here, they gotta see where they're at and get the coordinates. And that's one of the ways that we're teaching them coordinates in 2 dimensions when we're doing it on the floor, and in 3 dimensions when they're doing it with on Scratch. And then in Scratch they see it as X and Y's, and then they're learning about quadrants in a way of using negative and positive numbers, because in Scratch, when in that area where they're moving their little sprites there, their characters, right here is showing them positive and negative numbers. It's showing them both. So they're basically learning that as their sprite is moving, right here, if they're showing them positive, positive, it's in this area. If it's negative, negative, it's in this area. And then if it's positive, negative, it's in this area, and then negative, positive is in this area. So that's what they're learning subconsciously. They're learning quadrants, and they're learning about positive numbers and negative numbers in the coordinate system. So that is what they're learning. They're learning it through Scratch programming, through computer programming. They're moving in that area of the computer virtual world, and then we play games such as the one on the floor, and we learn it, and then somebody or the sprites or the characters, and we move there in that 121 square feet of area. Plus we have somebody that writes the name of the person, and then we write, okay, they're on X whatever number, Y whatever number, so what numbers go first, and we review that they are putting the X first. So wherever they're landing, we use a laser pointer to point and basically show the lines where they're at, so that they know exactly in what position they are. So they're learning about spatial reasoning and spatial analysis in a different way. So we're laying the foundation for them to be very good STEM learners, and hopefully become engineers or scientists. Thank you for your time.